Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to a special Saturday edition of Cliff London Uncensored, and then fanfare and all that stuff. Just imagine the intro that I will have one day. Uh, reason why I'm coming at you like this on a Saturday afternoon is because ever since this that stupid ass Black Lives Matter video with the chick talking about, the one where she's like, if you want to taste a Gucci, if you want to run some Louis Vuitton, go ahead and do that because that's reparations. These people get everything and my people get nothing. Except wink, except link, except free college, except all this other stuff, but nothing. Anyway, her. And then they got my mind to thinking, about Canon Hannon again, and I won't tear up like I did yesterday. I apologize. And thinking to myself, if I was part of a quote-unquote civil rights organization that should be for the advancement of colored people, as they say, one thing I want to do is defend my reputation and my brand. But what I have noticed is that this entire time, no matter what facts are proven, i.e. body cam footage of George Floyd, no matter what, the media will not correct themselves. They will not redact any harmful statements that are, in fact, more divisive or divisive, however you want to pronounce it, than anything Trump has said. They got two little things that they had to twist and turn. Anyway, back to the story at hand. But why don't? I just got to thinking to myself, why don't blacks seem to, why didn't they come out and condemn this black man killing this little white boy? I would have. You have to say that just to protect. You shouldn't say it just to protect your brand, but if you're going to be self-righteous and talk about policemen killing blacks, then you have to you have to show compassion, real compassion, and point this stuff out that say, hey, basically you say, hey, do not put us all in the same category. I'm not begging for acceptance. I'm just saying that we as blacks live on a spectrum just like everyone else. We are not a monolith. And just because this piece of shit killed this little boy, yes, we empathize. And our hope goes out to this family, and we condemn and disown. That's what we need to do to our trash, the same that white folks do. White folks don't go, they don't embrace their trash. They cast them aside and say, no, you belong with the dregs. That's what we need to do, and that's what should be done. But again, blacks never seem to come out and defend or, condemn anything shitty that a black person does until a black conservative points it out. Then they go, oh, well, of course. Well, of course we're not happy that this guy got shot. Of course we're not. But it's definitely not as, you don't care about it as much as when a white person does it to a black. And I don't mean to be one of those guys that say, well, if it was a white person. So just hear me out. My point in this is that, again, I'm going to go with becoming what you're fighting against. And what I'm secondly going to speak on is that I think that at the root of all this, and again, I'm only speculating here. But I'm going to say that there's a general sense of, I'm going to speculate that there's a general sense of, hey, us as a people have been oppressed for so long. We've been hurt, killed, and blah, blah, blah for 150 plus years. You guys know the same spiel that's been being hammered into your heads. And so because of all that, they really don't care. They act like it. And again, I'm only speculating, but it seems like they act like they care, but they may care on a basic superficial level. Yes, that's not right. But I would, I bet that in some of them, maybe some up front, I don't know if you ever heard of a hotel, but maybe them up front is really, they feel like that white people deserve it because of all, they feel that white people have went all over the world and caused this havoc and destruction. I've heard these pro-blacks. I listen to a lot of their stuff too, just to know where their brain is, in case I ever have to debate one of them. And there is, and I'm not, and again, I can't put them all in the same category, and I'm totally sure there. I'm not saying that no blacks give a shit, but usually they're quiet, right? So just for the sake of argument, we're speaking about these loudmouths, the loudest ones, because everybody can point out, well, who are you? What black folk are you hanging around with? Blah blah blah. Come on, we know who we're talking about here. Of course, I don't mean all. And now that that's settled, same thing with like I had a friend that didn't believe in tipping. If it was a white waitress, needless to say, our friendship didn't last much longer because that was just a gateway to other, assholeness. But yeah, he didn't believe in tipping, white male servers or white female servers because they have a better time, they have an easier time in life, and therefore he would keep his money. They didn't deserve his money. It's things like that that bring me to this conclusion. That chick, and I'm not gonna say her name. You've probably all seen the footage, but I really do think that in their brain they think that it's a revenge in a sort. That's why you don't hear BLM denouncing these riots. They should be denouncing these riots, even if they don't give a fuck. They should be denouncing them to protect their brand, to keep up that bullshit lie that they are for righteousness and decency. And I tell you what, right now I'm not one of those YouTubers that just believes that everybody black is righteous, everybody black is good. No, screw that. We're capable of evil just like everybody else. Just look at Kamala Harris. She's probably sucking Joe Biden's dick right now. Anyway, I do think that there's a general sense of I don't give a fuck, and some even think that they deserve it because of themselves being oppressed. And this could be, it could be a friend of yours, it could be a classmate of yours, it could be a coworker, it could be a neighbor, and they might feel that way. And I tell you what, if you want to test it, just go up to one of your black friends. I mean, and just ask them, hey, do you ever think that white people deserve some of the stuff that's happening to them? See what they say. See if they pause. See if they, see what they say. And then what you get from that experience is up to you. I mean, I'll tell you a little quick little story time with Cliff London here, real quick. So I used to be a personal trainer for a gym, and unless you go, by the way, if you're thinking of going down that path, unless you have the money and infrastructure to start your own, I repeat, do not work for a chain gym. I don't care what it is. Some people can hack that, but it sucks if you got any kind of fucking decency and morality about you. Otherwise, it's cutthroat. People try to steal your shit. They try to act like they know medical shit and doing medical analysis, and they shouldn't be just because they watch some shit on the internet. It's a very shanty town. Not all of them. I also met some very dope trainers that really believe in what they're doing and learned a lot from them. That being said, I thought that I had this naive vision that it would be like one of those shows when I went into this personal training thing, that I could just work out all day and have positive change in people's lives. I didn't know that it'd be sales. So it was a very stressful environment. But anyway, I found my niche with doing, with teaching kickboxing and self-defense. I was really out there hustling. I was throwing Muay Thai in there, kind of using that as a conduit, And so one day they hired this kid, and in order to pump himself up, I overhear him. I'm in the bathroom and I overhear this guy talking to one of my clients. And I love Bruce Lee. Even if all these meatheads say, oh, whoa, he fought in MMA today, they would, it's like whatever, take whether that's true or whether or not his symbolism, and it wouldn't be as popular in America as it is without him. Anyway, but he hadn't even seen what I teach. He made an assumption because I had a Bruce Lee t-shirt on that I was trying to teach Jeet Kune Do, which I wouldn't do. Number one, I'm not licensed. Number two, it's not really my fighting style. And I wouldn't want to disrespect it by even attempting. But, so I hear him out here. I'm on the toilet, and I don't know if he knows I'm around, but it's one of those stall things, and he's telling the client, yeah, one of my clients, yeah, I don't know about the whole Bruce Lee thing, though. I mean, he was just an actor, blah, blah, blah. Basically, and he was like, well, if you ever want to try something different, I teach this. Now, keep in mind, this dude's been doing jujitsu for a year. And I know jujitsu players nothing against jujitsu. It is a devastating martial art. I loved it when I studied it. It should be a part of everyone's bag of tricks. You should at least know a few things, if not at the very least how to defend against the takedown. But anyway, but he was assuming this, and he was basically trying to steal my client out from under me. And so I thought to myself, I said, well, shit, what do I do at this point? And so I confront him. Maybe I should have went to my supervisor, but he was one of those guys that was never around. He would show up, make a protein shake, and then be gone most of the day. I saw him maybe 2 hours out of the 6 or 7 I was there, maybe an hour sometimes. So my mind wasn't go and tell him. And it was a sales environment, so I expected a bit of cutthroatness. And with that being said, I said, hey, man, first we started off talking about Bruce Lee. Then he started getting really adamant. And then he made some comment about, I can't remember because this was in 2014, he made some sort of comment. But all I remember is I said, okay, man, I said, do you have a mouth guard? Yes, I have a mouth guard. I said, do you have headgear? Yeah, I have headgear. I said, dude, how about this? Since you want to talk some smack, how about you and me, a friendly competition? Because since I heard what I told him, I said, I heard what you said in the bathroom, and now I got to protect my brand because you're ruining, I've been busting my ass off, for the past year, and he's coming and talking this smack. So, into that story goes, he was talking a bunch of stuff, but he ended up going to the higher ups talking about he felt scared and threatened, and that was not what it was, and we weren't even, anyway, he lied about that, and I ended up getting canned. Now, this person involved was white, and in this particular situation, I have to honestly think that race had something to do with it, but only because there are some people that think that if they, that if a black dude raises his voice, that he is automatically angry, as opposed to just being irate. It was an equal jawing back at one another, but he definitely made it seem like he was, he played that card of, the scared little white guy, So anyway, I don't think, because of that doesn't make me think that some way, somehow, all white folk deserve a short end of the stick. Now, of course, I'm not naive, I'm just also a realist. I don't, not every person white folk is born with a silver spoon in their mouth. I think that's one thing that every person forgets. We all have our different varieties. We all have our middle class. We all have our in-betweens. We all have our work 3 jobbers. We all have that. And I think one thing that I will say about what I've learned since living in Chicago, and I can only speak from my own experience, but a lot of the blacks and stuff that I meet from the south side, from the west sides of Chicago, it may not be all roses and shit where they're from, and it may not be exactly crime free, but it is still a shelter in a way, because a lot of them are very naive about other cultural cues, and some of them anyway are, and even at times how to carry themselves, like they have respect for themselves even. That I would blame on their parents. But yeah, and the tragedy of this all, and the coda of this all is that BLM and all this stuff is not really helping. What it really does, and what that woman really did, was set everyone back as us as a nation and our relations. Because what she essentially was saying is that the violence and stuff is warranted because we never got reparations. Now, looking at her age, she is far, 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 far away removed. She probably just learned that word a couple of days ago. And also the station of what it was supposed to be. She compared it to stealing, to petty theft. So if that's all that it's worth to you, now see, that's probably not what she meant. But that's also why, her inability to express herself is probably why she shouldn't be leading anything, and why she shouldn't be talking on TV in the first place, because she says stupid things like that. That and her stupid Tracy Chapman hairstyle. It only works for Tracy Chapman, by the way. And her music only works if you're a lesbian. Sorry, it's true. But yeah. So all these things that are supposed to help, all these organizations that are supposed to help, they're the ones that keep it stirring up, you see. I don't know how they live this way. How you wake up every day. First of all, their arrogance to think that that white folk get up and go, damn, I think I'm just going to find me a nigger to run into at the store today. Like they were waiting behind corners to do some fucked up shit, as if they don't have jobs and shit. As if they don't have their trash that is making meth out of packets of Sudafed and battery acid and shit, Of course, we know this. Right? But as blacks, we have to discard our trash. Just like everyone else does. Because why? Because that's part of being fucking American. Now I realize I'm not talking about guys that have been in jail for a little bit of weed or whatever. Come on, I'm not. And I know I'm aware of the cases, but I also, for sake of time, we all know the ones that need to go. We all know the ones in the mentality that needs to be changed. Because for me personally, we need to stop all this stuff. And it's kind of one reason why I think that as one of my subscribers had a good idea, is I kind of believe in shutting the country off for, not like a complete shutdown, but I mean this stuff, all this foreign aid and things until we handle our own shit, because we should be past this by now. And I think that we would be past it closer to something like Gene Roddenberry's vision. Gene Roddenberry was the creator of Star Trek, and I don't mean that lower decks bullshit. But, he had a vision, and at this time, color and stuff would be a non-issue. It wouldn't even be something that, racism would be something that was like, huh? What? Why did they ever? We would be closer to that. But, they keep having this repeating cycle. The race hustlers, they're waiting for it. They're salivating over it. They're jacking off next to the television, looking at it, just waiting for a little black kid to get shot. Oh, is it a cop? Is it a cop? Is it a cop? Is it a cop? Oh, God, it's a cop! They're just like, and they can't wait to spread it. And they're spreading that. There's in turn, they are spreading the hatred. They're bringing it back whenever it dies down. I was just thinking, before Trayvon Martin, if you can remember back that far, right? Before that, nobody was saying, did you turn on the TV every day and it was some race shit? No. When the election's about to come up, it started. Just keep that in mind if you think about, I try not to be one of those conspiracy theory guys, but I can't help to think that these tragedies conveniently pop up. And it's something that we need to change, and I think that it's something that some blacks need to ask themselves. Look in the mirror and ask yourself, like when I looked at that, I felt the same way about Cannon Hannett as I did about the fucking hundreds of little black kids that, that I felt the same. And we all should feel the same, no matter what color, especially since it only makes up 4% of our biology. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, melanin only makes up 4% of our biology for the billionth time. So a lot of this shit is manufactured, and I think that it keeps us from truly evolving as a species. And where evolution starts first is right here within. So ask yourself, when you look at that newspaper and see a tragedy, this is to blacks, if you look at that newspaper and see a tragedy about a white family and it doesn't charge you as much as it does a black family or a Hispanic family, ask yourself why. Finding out fucked up shit about yourself sucks. But you have to ask yourself why. And the reason why I come to this rumination is because, my mom was kind of one of them wannabe, in addition to the Black Lives Matter, that bullshit reparations speech, my mom was kind of one of those Black Panther groupies, and it was almost like kind of, they justified everything. And back then, now, it was totally different. There was more merit to things back then. Just think how far we would be now. Anyway, but one thing that she would say, like we weren't doing it ourselves, but when certain things, now I'm just saying for the saying, because the actions back then were relevant. But they always say, hey, it doesn't matter if we do this because they've been doing this to us anyway. In some ways, I'm not a non-violent sort of guy myself, but, I'm a practical sort of guy and a realistic sort of guy. But, but the problem with that is it was relevant back then. They're trying to use this stuff now. And they've had it. None of them are even close to, none of them even had it as bad as someone in the 50s, 60s, 70s, or 80s. Most of these people out there that are marching, that are in their late 20s, early 30s, they don't know shit about shit. They just, I very seriously doubt they've even, because you didn't have to crack open a book. You could Google. I bet they just know that, black and white. I bet they don't even understand a lot, like why a lot of this shit exists. Or you know what I mean? They're worried about the wrong shit too. But anyway, sometimes to make change, you gotta start with the individual. Real change. Not change through force, not change through violence, not change through intimidation, not change through social shaming. Sometimes, you need to say fuck it and just give them the finger and not go after their job, and not, because you want to be able, if someone that offends you, you want to still be able to say fuck off and not ruin their livelihood. But what all this shit is really doing is creating more people that hate us, that resent us. Again, I'm not begging for acceptance. I'm just saying that in terms of when you make your moves and stuff in society and things of that nature, there are some people, I just think that for yourself first, the greater good second, knowing how to conduct yourself like you got some sense in society is a positive, and really confronting your inner demons and helps you become a better human being. Therefore, you're better in society, and in society, and people are better to you because you can have some empathy and realize that, we're not so different. We're more the same. And with that, I'm just going to say, my wife buys this almond milk shit, and this almond milk with a hint of banana, and it's actually, I'll tell her, it's actually pretty good. Pretty good. Anyway, with that being said, as far as us being alike, just remember, we are all part of the same compost heap. We are not unique little snowflakes. We are part of the all singing, all dancing crap of the world. You are not your fucking bank account. You are not your fucking khakis. This is Cliff London Uncensored. Have a good day, everybody. Oh, And if you like what you heard, rate, comment, share, subscribe, at least like, help the channel grow. Thanks for listening, everybody.